Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. I'm Madison, and today I wanted to go over with you some of the plants that I've just been gushing over extra this last month, and a couple of planty items that have been really helping me out as well. So let's get on into it here. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have 5 plants to show you guys today. And then, like I said, just a couple of like planty items that I've been finding really helpful and beneficial to me over like the last summer month here, and like maybe a little bit longer than a month even, because we've been having some bugs here. So let's get into some stuff. So let's start with the plant first. Let's start with this guy here because it's right next to me and it's so exciting. Get this tray out of here. So this is my crystallinum or Anthurium crystallinum silver blush. I'm pretty certain that that's what this is. It was just labeled as an Anthurium crystallinum when it was shipped to me, but just based on the look of it, and then looking at like the silver blush from this seller from Anthurium from Aroid Market, this definitely looks like the silver blush. So this has been on my favorites. And first off, let me just say, none of these are in any sort of order. Oh, and I'm sorry if you can hear my boyfriend woodworking. I feel like I always say that, but he's always woodworking while I'm filming. So it's the weekend, you know. There's no particular order to this list whatsoever. And it was really hard for me to keep it down to 5 plants. I just didn't want this video to get too crazy long because I would just be walking you around this entire house, like showing you damn near every plant. So we're gonna tighten it up here. One of the reasons, besides its just obvious beauty, that this plant has been on my favorites for like this last month or so is because it has been working on this new leaf here. Oh my gosh. I hope that's focused for you. If not, I will get some other footage, but hopefully it's focusing. But look at how beautiful she is. Oh my goodness. So this popped out about less than a week ago, definitely less than a week ago. And it's finally killed off this leaf, which I thought it was gonna die off much sooner when it came into me, because it was already just starting to look pretty darn yellow. So I'm really impressed that it literally took making this new leaf to really kill off this old one. So I'm really pleased with how this has been doing. It's just so beautiful. Let me just show you these other leaves here real quick because they're just gorgeous. Like, look at that. I love how blown out the veination is on here. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm just looking at that new leaf. And look at the color on the new leaf. That is one of my favorite things about Anthurium, is how beautiful and different the leaf color is when it first comes in. I'm trying not to touch it too much. Apparently you're not supposed to touch new Anthurium leaves. I don't feel like I've fully experienced why that is yet, so, you know, I'm probably gonna end up learning the hard way and doing something bad to them like after they're already out, but it's just so pretty. I can't help but touch it sometimes. I'm like, do you see the sheen on there? It's just wild. So I'm really excited to see how large this little guy gets, because it's already gotten quite a bit larger since it popped out like and fully unfurled like probably 3 or 4 days ago now. So yeah, I'm really excited to see. I will definitely be posting pictures of this on my Instagram and stuff like that. And then of course be updating you in future videos as well. But yeah, I'm so pleased with this guy. And again, this was sent to me by Aroid Market so stinking generously. And yeah, I've just been in awe over it since it came in pretty much. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what else this little guy does for me. And yeah, I'll keep you posted. Okay, let's move on to the next one so I don't make this video like freaking, I don't know, an hour long, because I so easily could. Okay, the next one I want to talk to you about here is this beautiful guy. So this is technically 2 plants that I potted in the pot, and this is a Philodendron hastatum or Philodendron silver sword, and it is just beautiful. So initially when I bought this plant, did I have it in my, I don't think I had it in my cabinet, or maybe I did for the first little bit and it just wasn't doing anything. But I had it outside of my cabinet, I remember, for quite a while, and it was doing really, really well until it just wasn't anymore. I'm not really sure why. It wasn't root bound. It was getting, you know, the same care as I had previously been giving it, which had been working really well. And it just stopped growing, and all of the leaves that would grow would just get really tangled up and caught up in the sheath, and then they would snap before they made it out. So it was kind of a bummer. I was getting kind of nervous for this plant. I thought it was just gonna start going completely downhill. It didn't, luckily. I decided to act kind of quick and move it. That's always my first thing to do, or the first thing that I think to do. Well, not the first thing, but one of the first things. If like the soil is looking fine and it's not root bound, I'll move it, you know what I mean? And just see if it needs a different atmosphere, a different level of light, a different level of humidity, or whatever. So I went and moved this guy from downstairs to upstairs. Initially, I had it in the room that I'm in now, my plant room, and it was doing all right, but I decided to move it into my bedroom. And since then, it has been just kind of popping off. Like pretty much everything from, let's see, from like here up is all new growth, which is just amazing. And it's just really bushing up really nicely. Bushing up. That sounds weird, but we're gonna go with it. But yeah, it is losing one of its oldest leaves down here, as you can see, or I guess a couple of them. Oh, he was ready to come off of there. But that's totally natural and normal, so I'm not worried about it at all. Oof, he is dusty. I need to go around with my like microfiber gloves and dust all this stuff off of here. So yeah, I'll do that in like a plant chores day one day here soon. But yeah, I've just been loving this plant since I've moved it. I think that the reason that it's doing so much better is because where it's sitting now, it's getting significantly more natural sunlight rather than the artificial light from my grow lights. So I've had a hunch for quite a while now that my grow lights that I have hooked up downstairs that are like on my ceiling and that are also the same ones within my IKEA greenhouse cabinet, I had a feeling that they weren't the right spectrum of light for some of the plants. Some of the plants absolutely love it, and then others just really would not thrive very well. It's like they were missing something. So I think they're just not the right spectrum. I'm not really exactly sure what to look for. It's kind of a bummer, honestly, but I mean, they work just fine for now, but I will be on the lookout for some different, better, maybe higher quality lights or something like that in the future. So drop any like suggestions in the comments down below of, you know, what grow lights you've been having really good luck with, because I'd love to know and do some research. But yeah, it's been getting much more natural sunlight, which has been doing it absolutely wonderfully. I feel like I have a dog hair on me. And then besides the natural sunlight, it's also been pretty darn close to my humidifier. Now, it's next to the Levoit humidifier, which I think I've talked about before. That's the one I have in my bedroom. I do love that humidifier because of the different like options that it gives you. It will turn on and off automatically depending on, you know, which humidity percentage you set it to stay. But it's not a top fill, and the screw on the bottom of it is really difficult. Like even my boyfriend has a hard time doing it sometimes. Like you have to like grab a towel so that you have like some extra friction and it's like not tearing up your hands. But it's been seeming to run out really, really frequently lately. So I have not been keeping up on filling it up very well. But my room has still been staying at, I want to say around 55, sometimes 60% humidity. So not amazing, but not terrible by any means, especially since I live in northern Colorado where the outside humidity is like, honestly, I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll put like the general number of like what the outside humidity is here where I live, because yeah, I don't know. It's dry. It feels pretty dry usually. But yeah, I think just the little boost in humidity and then the quite large boost in natural sunlight is really what did this plant all of its goodness. You know what I mean? I'm like losing my words, but you know what I mean. It's what really helped this plant grow better and not be getting stuck in its sheaths. I'm just trying to see if there are any that have gotten stuck. It doesn't look like it. Honestly, that all looks really good. I have some like bare nodes down here because that's where I was having my issues. It was like right about this time here. So yeah, I'm really pleased to report that we are doing well. We're a little dusty, but you know, that's okay. It happens to the best of us. So yeah, this is my Philodendron haustatum or silver sword. I'm sure you've all seen this before, but beautiful plant, absolutely beautiful. I can't wait for that bad boy to mature. Like, whose plant did I see? Wild Fern. I'm sure y'all have seen hers, but she found this giant silver sword at like her local Home Depot or something like that. Now she lives in Canada. I live in the US, so I have not seen those here. I think that was from a Canadian nursery, but if you've seen her Philodendron haustatum, you know what I'm talking about. It is lush and gorgeous, and the leaf shape is all mature, like something to strive to. You know what I mean? I love that. Okay, what do I want to show you next? Let me show you this. This here is my Fox Farm. It says for organic gardening. This is my liquid plant food, Big Bloom. I've purchased this a couple times. I'm gonna be totally straight with you guys. I purchased this initially because it was the cheapest one. That is why I have continued to purchase this, because it also doesn't seem to harm my plants at all. So yeah, this is what I use. It works really nicely for me. I don't have any issues with it whatsoever. It's made with bat guano and worm castings. Do you say worm castings or worm castings? I say castings. I don't know if it matters. And it says formulated for indoor and outdoor plants. So I use it here. I definitely don't measure this out anymore. And as you can see, I have like, I think lost the cap. Or no. I actually just spotted the cap, so I have not lost the cap. But you can see it's all crusty and gross. Don't mind that. But I just like used a knife and cut a little slit at the top. That way I can just squirt some out. I don't know if I totally recommend that because it kind of makes a mess sometimes. But yeah, I love this. I just squirt a little bit of it into my like gallon pitcher of water, and I just go around and I dunk all my plants. I will say, since it is summer and my plants have been needing to be fed more, I have been going a little bit heavier handed with this. I'm still kind of careful with certain plants like my calathea, my anthurium and stuff like that, just so that I don't burn the leaves with a little bit too much of the fertilizer. But like for my outside plants and stuff like that, I will definitely put a lot in there. Like it makes the water pretty darn dark, and it's definitely not what I would be comfortable with in normal situations, but they're outside, it's hot, they're needing some extra goodness, and it's been doing really, really well. So I love this stuff. Again, this is the Fox Farm Big Bloom Concentrate. So yeah, just put a little bit into your water. What does it say? So I can give you some directions here. Okay, so it says for general feeding, you're gonna put 4 tablespoons per 1 gallon for every for every other watering. I pretty much do it for every watering, so I do dilute it a little bit. I definitely don't do 4 tablespoons. I probably do like 1 to 2, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just squirt it in there. It works beautifully. That's all I really have to say about it. So we'll just move on to plants now. All right, let me show you this guy here next. So this is my Hoya Macrophylla variegata, or Hoya Macrophylla albo marginata, something like that. You know what I'm saying. It's this Hoya. It's absolutely beautiful. It has kind of larger, broader leaves, and they're just gorgeous. Now I'm gonna pop a picture up like over here of this plant like from a little over a month ago now, so that you can see how much it's grown since then. It's amazing. Like this little guy has grown so much for me recently, and I'm just so pleased. And the leaves are just beautiful. Now, full disclosure, where'd that little leaf go? Nope, that's not the one. I have lost like 3 little tiny baby leaves, and I might lose these 3 right here. You can see they're like kind of weird and spotty on the backside. I think I overwatered it a little bit, but it honestly feels like it's thirsty right now. I definitely feel like, oh, no, it's pretty damp. I definitely feel like this is a more thirsty Hoya. I keep it right in my west-facing window, so it's getting that really harsh evening sunlight, and it seems to just absolutely dig it. The leaves, like I said, have been coming out really beautiful. Okay, I don't want to snap it and break it. But do you see this leaf right here? This one right here. Look at how like variegated and gorgeous that is. Oh my goodness. Like what the heck? But yeah, I'm so pleased with this plant. This might be, is it? This might be next to my Hoya australis, one of my like fastest growing Hoya. It's amazing. And I've heard that some people have like a lot of struggles with this Hoya, either just struggles keeping it alive or just having it be a really, really slow grower. I'm honestly not sure what's going on with that. I would look at how much light you're giving your Hoya. I would look at how much fertilizer you're giving it. Oh, I potentially over fertilize this as well. That could be what this situation is here. So we'll see if we hold on to these leaves. I won't be devastated if we don't, because they will grow back. It's totally fine. But yeah, I would look at your watering as well, because like I said, I definitely think that this is a much, what am I trying to say? I definitely think that this is a much more thirsty Hoya than a lot of my other ones. I'm not sure if that is just to do with the fact that it is in that west-facing window, so it's getting quite a bit more of that like harsh, direct sunlight through parts of the day than any of my other Hoya. That's honestly just what it is. So I guess my biggest suggestion would just be to up your light for your Hoya. They love light. They like to grow like out on trees and stuff like that in nature. They're kind of epiphytic, I want to say. So they will just kind of like latch on and grow and be beautiful. And they do like a good amount of sunlight. So just bump it up a little bit if you are scared of burning your leaves or anything like that. Maybe just do it for, you know, shorter increments as you're moving along and kind of bump up the time as you go. So maybe start with just having, you know, 45 minutes or something like that of direct sunlight for a few days, and then slowly bump that up to like an hour, hour and a half or something. You know what I mean? So that you're not just like totally shocking your plant. And then just make sure that you're keeping up on water according to what it needs. So yeah, really nothing crazy that I'm doing over here. I just feel really lucky that this guy has grown so well for me, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm really pleased. I hope I don't jinx anything. We're gonna knock on wood here, and hopefully this will keep growing like this. But yeah, Hoya Macrophylla variegata. That's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna keep it simple. But it's just beautiful. I wanna see if I can show you just how purple these new little leaves are. This is really the color that I think these should be. So, and these feel like extra soft. So, but they're also new. I don't know, we'll see. But look at that leaf. Hopefully you can see that. So stinking cute. Okay, let's do this guy next. Oh, I love this one so much. Okay, so, wow, what's the best way to show this to you? So this is my Philodendron gloriosum. Oh, I can't even believe that I can like say that about some of these plants, about a lot of these plants. Like this is my blah, blah, blah. Like what the heck? This is in my house. It's so crazy. But yeah, this is my Philodendron gloriosum. I ordered this guy from Equigenera or Equigenera. I ordered this guy from Equigenera from their first live sale, I want to say, that they did on Instagram months and months ago now. And I was lucky enough to score this beauty and another plant, my my Anthurium forgetii. And they've both been growing beautifully, but this guy has been on my list. I've just been staring at this plant sitting in my cabinet. Like pretty much anytime I'm in the living room, I just catch myself like, oh, hello, you're so pretty. The size of this leaf is shocking to me every time I pull it out of the cabinet. Like it hasn't grown anymore, but it still just shocks me every time. It's so beautiful and pillowy. And one of the reasons, besides this whole business, that it's on my favorites list for this month is because it's already giving me a new leaf here. Like, are you kidding me? And I don't know if you can see down here, but it's already ready for a repot. And honestly, same with the forgetii that I ordered at the same time. It's definitely ready for a repot. Like, whew, that happened fast. But yeah, I'm so pleased with this plant. First off, it hasn't lost a single leaf since I imported it from Ecuador, which is incredible. It came with these 3 leaves here, and then before too long popped out this beauty, and it's just gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And as you can see, I want to show you kind of the size up here. So this, we started with this little teeny guy here, and then we kind of bumped up here. We bumped up and we widened up quite a bit for this one. And then bam, like that is a pretty good size jump if you ask me. I'm dripping so much water on myself, but it's worth it. But yeah, it jumped up so nicely in size. And can I show you the back of it? How do I do this? The back of the leaf is just beautiful. Oh my goodness. Wow. It's not quite as pink as when it first came out, but it definitely has that kind of like blushy color. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it's definitely like a light blushy pink on the bottom, and it's just beautiful. And I am so excited to see what this guy does here and how big it gets. And I think as soon as this leaf comes out all the way, I am going to repot it before it starts pushing on another one. And I have to wait again because it's already at the end of this pot as well. So yeah, I'm so pleased with this. I highly recommend anyone order anything from Ecogenera. They do such a beautiful job. And I didn't mention that too with Aroid Market. They do such a beautiful, beautiful job. Oh, they do such a beautiful job at both these places, Aroid Market and Ecogenera, at shipping their plants with care, growing their plants with care. It's amazing. It's just so cool that we've got so many different options for good companies that really care about their plants and about what they're putting out there. And it's just really nice to see. We put that beautiful gloriosum back. Quick side note though, with everything that's been going on in the world, like, my heart goes out to every single person out there, whether you've been affected directly by what's going on in the world, which I'm sure y'all know what I'm referring to. You know, you have people backing you. You have people that are here for you, and you are absolutely going to be okay. So just remember that people love you, and be safe, whatever you're doing. And yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that because I will get too emotional. All right, let me move on to my second Planty item here so that I don't get so freaking emotional. The next item that I want to talk to you guys about is this Mammoth Canncontrol. Mammoth Canncontrol. I talked about this in a recent video with you guys, just showing how I do my like major pest spray down, which I need to do another round with different plants like this weekend. So don't be surprised if you see some more of that happening here because it's the season for bugs right now. But this Mammoth Canncontrol is amazing. My boyfriend and I have both been using this on all of our plants for how long? I want to say like a couple years now. It's definitely been a while. I love this stuff. It's really gentle on my plants. I haven't had any adverse effects from any of it on there. I am really good and diligent about keeping the lights off as soon as I'm done spraying all of my plants. So that is my biggest tip to anyone spraying their plants down for pests with anything, whether it be this or anything of the sort, because that will, once it's sitting on your leaf, act as a magnifying glass if there is light. So you want to make sure that you turn your lights off after you spray and keep them off for the duration until the plants are all dry. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's super easy to use. It is made with corn oil and thyme oil, and it's awesome. It smells like pretty good too, if I remember right. Yeah, it actually smells pretty good. It's like kind of citrusy. It's really lovely. It works really well, and you don't have to use that much either. How much does it say? What do I do? So it says for minor outbreaks, mix 1 ounce of this product with a gallon of water. For severe outbreaks, mix up to 3 ounces per gallon of water. So you're really not using that much, and you can just kind of do like nice small preventative spray downs and be able to really make this last for quite a while. So yeah, I highly recommend Mammoth Canncontrol. Are we down to the last plant? We are. All right. I'm so excited to show this guy. I am so excited to show this guy to you. So this is my Another one of those where I'm just like, this is mine, are you sure? It's so pretty. This is my Philodendron Billyta or Billyta, Billyta. That just sounds more right. This was another one sent to me so kindly by Aroid Market, and it is just an absolute beauty. Let me give you kind of an all-around tour, if you will, of this plant. It's gorgeous. It's been doing so well for me. It's been a really, really easy plant so far. Hopefully, again, I don't jinx myself here, but I've had no issues with it. It's so lovely. And it pushed out this leaf for me here. Do you see that? Like, what the heck? First off, it's so shiny. It's so pretty. And I just love the size. I can't believe what a good size it is. I think this, yeah, this was the leaf that came out previous. And I want to say it was like still just like at the very end of its like hardening off point when it was shipped out to me. And it had just that, oh, it has just this little crease in it here from shipping, which is absolutely fine. And yeah, this is the first leaf that it's given me since being imported. And I'm just shocked. I honestly wouldn't have been surprised if it was a more, you know, this size of leaf or even, you know, one of these really small ones over here because of the acclimation process and just kind of the shock to the plant. But it seems to have done really, really well. It's so pretty. I love how the little lobes at the top are kind of wonky, kind of a funky shape there. They're really cute. They just like almost fit into each other with the way that they curve there at the top. It's so pretty. And I just cannot get over how like carrot orange these petioles are. It's so cool. Such a beautiful plant. Oh, so for this plant as well, care-wise, I do have it in a pretty airy mixture. I did put a good amount of the like leca clay balls in there, these little guys here. That way it was just keeping it nice and aerated, at least hopefully, so that the roots can breathe. And I just kind of do the weight test. Like right now when I pick this guy up, it feels pretty darn heavy, so I wait for it to feel nice and light, and then I'll go ahead and give it a water. I will say this doesn't seem to be a plant so far that really talks to you and like doesn't really tell you when it's thirsty. It's not a plant that has like drooped or anything like that when it's thirsty, so you just have to kind of like be diligent about checking to see if the pot is really heavy or if the soil is really moist or if it's getting nice and dried out. This is a plant that I would maybe recommend having a moisture meter for, just to kind of assist in figuring out when it's time to feed this guy. But yeah, like I said, it has been really, really easy care and just so beautiful. I cannot believe that this plant is in my house. It's so pretty. Look at that. Ah! And it looks like it's already working on something. How can I show you this? This guy right here looks like it's working on something new here. So that's going to end up turning into something eventually. This is just a sheath here, but yeah, so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the trend for this video is these plants I think are really pretty. So that's why I like them for pretty much all of them. Like I said, it was really, really difficult for me to just stay with 5 plants for this video. Yeah. So I hope I picked some good ones that you guys were digging as well. But man, I feel just so fortunate to have the plants that I have. And I have been kind of feeling the need to let go of some of the ones that don't bring me as much joy anymore and that I find more of a real chore to take care of rather than a pleasure to take care of, and just really trying to like assess that and see how I feel about it, because it is honestly really difficult to just get rid of plants or sell them or gift them or, you know, whatever. To get them out of your house is actually really difficult sometimes because, you know, you grow attached to them. So yeah, I'm working on that. That is my kind of project for the rest of the summer, is to really try to figure out which plants I want to keep cultivating in my home and which ones I'm ready to have move on to a different home to take care of them better than I have been. So yeah, let me know any of your like, I don't know, advice on how to do that, on how like maybe different ways to look at things so that it's not so like tugging at your heartstrings. But But yeah, I am loving these plants that I showed you here and so many more in my house. I just am loving. I'm in a point in my like plant care journey, if you will. I don't like to use that word for some reason, but I am at a point right now where I am loving my plants. You know, you go through lulls where you're just like not so into them. I am so into every morning going through and checking around, checking my plants before I leave for work, taking little video clips in my cabinet before I leave for work in the morning. Like even on my really early days, like when I have to leave by 3 o'clock, or not by 3 o'clock, a little after 3 o'clock in the morning, I will still go around and like check on my plants and make sure that like my grow light timers are on, or if I have a couple that are on timers, I'll go and turn them on before I leave. And it's just such a pleasure to take care of them. It's really bringing me like a good amount of joy right now. And I'm just really loving it and appreciating them for just making me feel good, I guess. All right, guys, I think that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me and checking out what plants I have been loving on extra for this last month of, what is it, July already? Oh my gosh, we're already like at the end of July. What the heck? But thank you so much for joining me and checking these plants out and these couple of planty items. And let me know what plants you've been loving extra down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.